Have you ever felt someone's presence without a single message on your phone? That strange feeling deep inside that tells you they're still watching, even though they've been silent for days, weeks, or even months. You can't explain it, but you know they're there, scrolling through your pictures, checking your stories, and silently keeping up with your life without ever reaching out. They're watching, but they'll never admit it. Not because they don't care, but because their pride won't let them show it. They'd rather suffer in silence than type 3 simple words. I miss you. They're too proud to text first because reaching out would mean breaking the illusion they've built in their own mind. The illusion that they were the prize. The illusion that you'd always be there, waiting, hurting, hoping for them to come back. But what they don't realize is that your silence is breaking them in ways they never expected. Every second you stay quiet is forcing them to face a truth their ego can't handle. They need you more than you ever needed them. This isn't just about missing you. This is about losing the power they thought they'd always have over you. They're watching because they want to believe you're still waiting. They're hoping to see sad posts, emotional quotes, or any sign that you're still suffering without them. But the moment they see nothing, the moment they realize you're not begging, not chasing, not trying to prove your worth anymore, that's when the game shifts. Your silence is speaking louder than any apology they could ever give. Your absence is forcing them to question everything they thought they knew about you. Were you really the weak one, or were they the fool who thought you'd always come back? What breaks them isn't just your silence. It's the fear that you're becoming someone they'll regret losing for the rest of their life. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why they're watching but too proud to text, the psychological mind games happening behind their silence, and how you can reclaim your power without ever lifting a finger. By the end of this video, you'll understand that the most powerful response you'll ever give isn't a text, a call, or an explanation. It's becoming the person they never thought you'd become without them. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence is breaking them without me lifting a finger. If you're ready to let your silence do all the talking, let's get started. Number 1. They pretend to forget you, but they're watching everything. They pretend you're just another chapter they've closed, but deep down, you're the unfinished story their mind keeps rereading. They'll act like they've forgotten you. They'll post pictures with friends, fake happiness, or even try to show they're moving on without you. But don't let the surface fool you. Behind that act is someone checking your page in secret, waiting for a glimpse of the person they thought they'd always have access to. The truth is, people don't watch what doesn't matter to them. The fact that they're watching while pretending not to care is the clearest sign you're still living rent-free in their mind. They won't like your pictures because they don't want you to know you're winning the game. They won't view your stories right away because they're trying to convince themselves they don't care. But the silence between you two makes their curiosity louder than ever. What keeps them hooked isn't what you're showing. It's what you're hiding. Every smile you post without them. Every picture of you out living your life. Every day you go without breaking your silence. It's driving them crazy. They're waiting for proof that you're still hurting. But the longer you stay quiet, the more their mind starts filling in the blanks on its own. The best revenge isn't posting to prove you're happy. It's letting them watch and wonder if you're even thinking about them at all. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone.'" That quote holds one powerful truth. The more you stay silent, the more they'll create their own version of you in their mind. They'll assume you're outgrowing them. They'll assume you're becoming someone they'll never get access to again. Let them assume. Let them question. Let them lose sleep wondering if you're still crying over them, or if you've finally realized they were never worthy of your tears in the first place. The greatest power you can ever have is becoming the mystery they'll never figure out. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am the mystery they'll never figure out. Number 2, why they're watching but not reaching out. They're watching but not reaching out because pride is the only thing standing between their heart and their phone. They still care. That's why their eyes are on you. But caring and acting on those feelings are two different battles. Reaching out would mean lowering themselves. It would mean admitting they were wrong. It would mean giving you back the power they thought they'd always have over you. And for someone whose ego always came before your feelings, that apology feels heavier than the silence they're hiding behind. They're not watching you to admire your happiness. They're watching to see if you're still broken. They want to believe you're waiting, replaying old memories the way they secretly are. But what scares them is the thought that you're not suffering at all. That fear is what keeps them checking your page while pretending you don't exist. Psychology says when someone watches you silently, it's because they're emotionally attached, but too stubborn to admit it. They want to know if you're still under their spell. But the longer you stay silent, the more they start to realize the spell is breaking. They don't text, because the moment they do, they lose the illusion of power they've been holding on to. What they're really afraid of isn't just you ignoring them. It's the possibility that you've finally outgrown the version of yourself who would have answered right away. The longer they wait to reach out, the harder it becomes. Pride builds a wall between feelings and actions. Every day they stay silent. They convince themselves it's too late. Every time they check your page without messaging, they let the regret sink in deeper. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." That means you don't have to block them. You don't have to post indirect quotes. You don't have to prove anything. The best revenge is becoming someone they can't even access anymore. They broke you expecting you'd always wait to be fixed. But now your silence is showing them you're not waiting. You're rising. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I'm not waiting. I'm rising. Number 3, how their mind is working behind the silence. Their silence isn't strength. It's a mask. The mind always protects the ego before it allows the heart to feel regret. When they walked away, they convinced themselves they were making the right decision. They thought you'd be the one suffering in silence, waiting, hoping, breaking. But what they never expected was your silence fighting back. At first, their mind tells them you're playing a game, that you're only staying quiet to get their attention. That's why they watch in secret. They're waiting for you to slip. They're waiting for that one sad post, that one indirect quote, that one sign you're still holding on. But when they find nothing, the game flips. Curiosity starts creeping in. Why aren't you chasing? Why aren't you showing pain? That's when frustration starts burning beneath the surface. The same person they thought would always fight for them is now giving them nothing. And the hardest pill to swallow is that silence hurts more than any message ever could. That frustration turns into fear. Fear that you're really moving on. Fear that they're no longer the center of your world. Fear that maybe they mattered more to you than you ever mattered to them. But their pride still whispers in their ear, "Don't text first, they'll come back." That's the battle happening inside their mind every single day. They can't reach out without breaking their ego, but the longer they stay silent, the heavier the regret becomes. By the time they realize what they've lost, they'll be trapped between two choices: swallow their pride or suffer in silence. Most will choose to suffer because facing their own reflection is harder than losing you. Seneca once said, "It is a great thing to know the season for speech and the season for silence." Your silence isn't just hurting them, it's forcing them to meet the version of themselves they spent the entire relationship running from. The version that thought you'd never leave. The version that took your loyalty for granted. The version that never thought you'd find your power in their absence. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence is teaching them what my presence never could. Number 4. How you can feel they're watching. Have you ever caught yourself thinking about them out of nowhere, even when you were doing fine? That's not just a memory, that's their energy reaching for yours. When someone is silently watching you, their mind is creating an invisible connection that pulls on your spirit without a single word being exchanged. You feel them watching because their energy is still attached to you. Every time they scroll through your pictures, every time they type your name into the search bar, every time they replay old conversations in their head, they're sending out signals without even realizing it. And the truth is, you're picking up on every single one of them. The bond between two people doesn't break the moment they stop talking. It breaks the moment one person stops feeding the connection. The reason you feel their presence is because they're still emotionally attached to you, but they're trying to satisfy that attachment without having to reach out. The more they watch you in silence, the stronger that energetic pull becomes. That's why you'll randomly feel waves of missing them out of nowhere. You'll wake up thinking about them. You'll have dreams of them trying to talk to you. You'll feel their presence even when you're trying to forget. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. You're the one with the power to break the chain. Every time you miss them, they're pulling on your energy. But every time you choose not to react, you're pulling your energy back. The fastest way to cut the energetic tie is to starve it completely. Stop checking their page. Stop replaying old conversations in your mind. Stop looking for signs that they're watching you. The less attention you give them, the weaker the connection becomes, until one day you'll wake up and realize you don't feel them at all. The best revenge is emotional freedom. When you fully release someone from your mind, they will feel that disconnection without you ever having to say a word. And nothing will haunt them more than feeling you slip away without a goodbye. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I release what no longer serves me. Number 5. What their silence is really saying. Their silence isn't rejection, it's confirmation. Confirmation that you're stronger than they ever gave you credit for. People break what they think will always fix itself. They walk away from what they believe will always be waiting. The reason they're not reaching out isn't because they don't care. It's because they're testing how much power they still have over you without even saying a word. Their silence is a trap. They're waiting to see if you'll break first, if you'll reach out, if you'll prove them right, that no matter how badly they treated you, you'd still come running back just to feel close to them again. But the moment you refuse to play their game is the moment their silence starts speaking louder than anything they could ever text you. Every second you stay silent is sending a message without you ever typing a single word. Silence says, I don't need you. Silence says, I'm not chasing you. Silence says, I'm becoming someone you'll regret losing. What they're really waiting for isn't just your message. They're waiting for confirmation that they still have a hold on you. But when that message never comes, their ego starts to crumble piece by piece. The truth is, Their silence isn't confidence. It's fear. Fear that you're stronger without them. Fear that you're rebuilding yourself into someone they won't have access to anymore. Fear that you're finally seeing your own worth. Most people would rather suffer in silence than face the guilt of knowing they lost someone who would have done anything to keep them. Your silence is forcing them to live with the reality they tried to avoid, that they were never as important to you as they convinced themselves they were. They're not reaching out because the thought of being ignored by you scares them more than the pain of missing you. And the more your silence holds, the more that fear will eat away at them. Epictetus once said, "If you wish to be loved, love yourself first." This is your moment to love yourself more than they ever did. This is your moment to realize that the most powerful thing you can ever say is nothing at all. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their pride. Number 6. Should you text them first? Nah, the answer is always no. If they cared enough, they'd find a way. If they missed you enough, their pride wouldn't stop them. Love doesn't hide behind silence. Real feelings break through ego. The only reason you're even thinking about texting them first is because they trained you to always be the one who fixes things. But not this time. Every time you break your silence, you're handing them back the power they threw away. You're telling them they were right to walk away, that you're still waiting for them to choose you. But the truth is, anyone who made you question your worth never deserved to have you in the first place. If they really wanted to talk to you, they'd find a way, because nothing would stop someone who truly valued you. Not pride, not fear, not ego. The only message they deserve is your absence. Let your silence remind them of everything they took for granted. Let your distance become the lesson they never saw coming. Don't text them first. Don't give them the satisfaction of knowing you're still waiting. The hardest thing you'll ever do is stay silent when your heart wants to explain. But the most powerful thing you'll ever do is let them wonder if they ever mattered enough to break your silence. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value. If they valued your love, they'd reach out. If they valued your presence, they'd swallow their pride." Let them feel your absence until they realize how much your presence actually meant. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I will never beg someone to realize my worth. Number 7. What happens if you stay silent? If you stay silent long enough, two things will happen. They'll break. You'll heal. At first, they'll convince themselves your silence is temporary. Just another game you're playing to get their attention. But the longer you stay quiet, the heavier that silence becomes. What started as confidence on their end will slowly turn into confusion. Confusion will turn into doubt. Doubt will turn into regret. Every day you don't reach out is another day they realize you're not the person they thought you were. You're not begging. You're not waiting. You're not chasing. You're showing them what life feels like without your energy holding them together. But the real transformation isn't what happens to them. It's what happens to you. The longer you hold your silence, the more you'll start to see how much power you are giving away. Every moment of silence becomes a step back into your own self-worth. You'll start waking up without checking your phone. You'll start smiling without needing their validation. You'll realize the version of you who once begged for their love is gone. The Stoics believed that true power lies in emotional control. Staying silent isn't weakness. It's the ultimate display of strength. When you master your silence, you master your emotions. When you master your emotions, you become untouchable. By the time they gather the courage to text you, You'll be too busy becoming the person they always feared you'd become without them. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence is my power, and I am rebuilding in private. They're watching, but their pride won't let them reach out. What they don't realize is that by staying silent, you're not just hurting them, you're healing yourself. You don't need closure. You don't need an apology. You don't need them to finally see your worth. The best revenge is becoming someone they can never reach again. If you're choosing silence over begging, I want you to drop this final affirmation in the comments. I'm not waiting, I'm rising. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, because the best glow-up always happens in silence. Let them watch, let them wonder, let them regret.